I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise.
Oh, I see eyes.
80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris.
Yeah, they can see right.
There's my hand. Look at the size of that footprint.
This footage originates from a small, relatively new YouTube channel named Degenerate Wilderness, a group recognized for unpredictable outdoor excursions that often take place in less than ideal weather. Their videos combine rough, unscripted adventure with moments of disorder, giving every upload the sense that it could shift into a survival scenario without warning. The trip begins at an area known as Rattlesnake in Ohio. The mood is upbeat. The group jokes around while showing newly purchased equipment, including upgraded sleeping pads, compact camping chairs, and decorative string lights ordered online. Early on, one member mounts a GoPro to his chest, treating the situation lightly.
We made it to Rattlesnake down in somewhere Ohio. Pretty good. Got the string lights from Amazon. Wetsuits right there. Tarp we're gonna throw up. I just got this new, which one is it? Nemo something.
Moonlight Elite.
Yeah.
Nemo chair.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. About £1. Not bad
Very
at all.
expensive though, but
Yeah, really
definitely
expensive. We just got, all three of us, upgraded our sleeping pads because the Amazon ones were not cutting it. Look at that. That's a sleeping pad.
At this stage, the approaching weather feels more like a minor annoyance than a genuine risk. That perception changes rapidly. A severe storm system moves in far quicker than anticipated.
Let's get the fuck out of here. We gotta go. Christian, come on. Is this the right way?
wait, might be more left.
I think it's
right.
left. Yeah, I think it's that way. Emergency evacuation.
Evacuation.
80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris.
What began as a relaxed camping outing suddenly becomes stressful as storm advisories escalate into official evacuation notices. Wind speeds climb past 80 miles per hour, and airborne debris turns dangerous. Even as conditions worsen, the group attempts to manage the tension with uneasy humor. They decide to move toward their vehicle, only to discover the key was left behind at the campsite. With conditions deteriorating and no one willing to return alone, they choose to head back together. The return is frantic. Heavy rain, slippery paths, and constant lightning reduce visibility. Trees sway violently, and concern grows that the campsite could be destroyed, or that someone could be injured. Despite the conditions, they manage to reach camp. The area has taken a hit but remains standing. Tents are still upright, firewood remains mostly usable, and the lights continue glowing. Relief mixes with disbelief as they assess what survived. Later, they learn the same storm system caused fatalities in nearby Kentucky the previous night. The realization is sobering. What once felt overly cautious, sleeping inside the vehicle, now appears to be the most responsible decision made. There were no paranormal elements or unexplained creatures involved, yet the storm itself delivered a powerful sense of fear. The situation shows how quickly nature can shift from calm to dangerous, and how unprepared people can be when that happens. What choice would you have made in that situation? Continue pushing through, or leave the area entirely? Share your thoughts below. And if you've experienced something similar, we'd like to hear about it. Posted on July 10th, 2025, this video from the Northwest Wind follows a solo camping expedition into one of Pennsylvania's most talked about Bigfoot regions. The creator spends 3 brutally hot days deep inside a remote section of a vast state forest, an area long discussed among cryptid followers for its unusually frequent reports. The video begins with understated humor mixed with sincere curiosity. It's the final evening of the trip, and the camper appears visibly drained, exhausted from heat, insects, and long days outdoors.
We are in the most active Bigfoot zone in Pennsylvania right now, and tonight we are going to try and summon Bigfoot to this campsite. So it's the last night of my trip at this lovely campsite. I've been out here for 3 days. Very moist, tired, flummoxed. We've eaten good, we've slept not good. We are out here in north central PA. I don't want to give away the state forest that I'm in. It's also along a very popular watershed with fishing and recreation and all kinds of stuff. Very, very isolated, but also a very, very big draw. If you're looking for Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings, there's a very big concentration of those in this area. I'm out in Pennsylvania all the time. I've only had one encounter in Pennsylvania where I was not sure what I had encountered. It was something that's a human. It was a noise that I could not explain that sounded very ape-like, but also from far enough away that I had no semblance of it was or what it looked like or how big whatever it was from the top of a ridge in a steep river valley, kind of like one I'm in now. Since I've already been here for 2 days, camp is already set up. I filmed another camp last night, tent set up, bed stuff. I slept in it last night. We've got the Yeti cooler with we got some burgers and dogs. So we cooking Frankie, you know, like Uncle Frank from Home Alone. I do have some firewood, so we're going to build a nice, delicious, cozy fire tonight. Finally broke down and bought myself a thermocell, and let me tell you, I did not know what I was missing out on. I've put on so much bug spray the past 2 days that I've been out here that literally like burning my eyes and burning my forehead and my hands were so moisture, chafing. And it still was not keeping them.
Even so, he remains committed to using the last night to attempt a direct Bigfoot contact from his isolated campsite. Set in north-central Pennsylvania, the campsite lies within roughly 145,000 acres of dense forest, well removed from roads or regular foot traffic.
Give you a little tour of the campsite. I'm set up over here. It's literally been 92 degrees for the past 3 days out here, so very hard to sleep, very moist. Luckily, I have my USB fan. I did not put my fly on my tent just for breathability's sake. Sleeping with both doors and walls completely open. Last night was absolutely miserable. So it is what it is. I got one more night. We're going to fish again tomorrow and then go home and hopefully hang out with Bigfoot for a few minutes. Nice and secluded campsite though. Got a fire ring, which is nice. I did bring some wood, gonna collect some little kindling and punky logs, and we're gonna get a fire going after dinner. Got a nice campsite here. We are at the end of this road. The road dead ends right there. We are in a state forest, and I have the truck with me, meaning I'm able to be bougie, and we're down at the end of this road, but also down in this little hock down here. So I'm asking all of you, I don't know if I believe cold-hearted truth, fact, 100% in Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, or some kind of bipedal primate style creature figure that lives in small populations in desolate rural areas. I see it as being very plausible or possible. I don't say it's impossible because it's definitely not. There's a lot of videos that you could tell are fake. There's a lot of videos and photos that are questionable. And there's a lot that are like, is that real? In my mind, there's only two possibilities. Either it's real or it's fake. We haven't explored every square foot of even Pennsylvania, for example, where I am right now. So could it be out there? Yes, I guess.
Although he avoids naming the specific park, he mentions its proximity to a well-known watershed popular with anglers and outdoor recreation. It's the type of environment where movement could easily go unnoticed. Despite years of camping throughout Pennsylvania, the creator recalls only a single past incident involving an unfamiliar sound, low, rough, and unsettling, that stayed with him long after. That memory gives added significance to this trip, even as the presentation remains lighthearted. With camp already established from the night before, he offers a brief walkthrough, a modest fire ring, loosely arranged gear, and a deliberately minimal tent setup designed to allow airflow in the oppressive heat. To deal with insects, he demonstrates a newly purchased portable repeller, noting that it seems to be working better than expected. As part of the experiment, he places an apple in an elevated tree branch and leaves half a hot dog nearby. Items often referenced in cryptid folklore as potential attractants. The offerings are simple, but intentionally positioned where they would be easy to notice.
Something just startled me up. I don't know what it was that woke me, but I was having deep, vivid dreams, and all of a sudden I was just wide awake, and I heard something. I want to say sounded like wood knocks, very close, maybe a couple 100 yards up the hill, like close though. I thought I heard it once, then I heard it again. Like, go back and watch my wood knocking, that's what it sounded like intentional wood knocking sounds. I haven't heard it since, but it's 100% what it sounded like. Just before 5 a.m. I've actually been sleeping pretty good tonight. I did wake up to pee a few times and heard those knocks. Thought I heard what was, I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise. But nothing that felt anything close to like, it was like but it was like not a 7-foot-tall hairy man sound. It's about 5:30. Light enough out right now where I'm just going to get up, bite the bullet. I think just laying here for 40 more minutes-ish until my alarm goes off is not going to do me any good, so we're going to get up and start the day.
As evening progresses, he performs a series of wood knocks at spaced intervals. According to common reports, rhythmic knocking is believed to be a communication method associated with Bigfoot. While remaining skeptical, he states he's willing to consider both possibilities, that such a creature exists or that it doesn't, especially in wilderness areas this expansive. Alongside the knocking, he attempts other commonly cited methods, including striking rocks together and making vocal whoop sounds. Though some moments come across as playful, the effort itself appears genuine. Later that night, the mood changes.
They're both still there. They're gone. Well, that gives me the Willie McGillies. They're both gone. The apple was up there. The hot dog was right here. That gives me the creeps, big time. It's daybreak, and I have more creeps than I did at any point during both of these nights I was out here. Let me see if the apple's down in these bushes or if something, maybe it fell, maybe something tried to take it and it went down, but I just got like a chill down my spine. So let's be realistic here. Odds are it was a squirrel or a raccoon or something that could easily climb the tree very much stealthily and quietly and took the hot dog or the apple off the branch. But just knowing that they were there, you know, about, I mean, you see how far behind me I was camped, you know, 100 feet, 150 feet, give or take. They were there and now they're not. I was convinced that they would still be there. That
in the early morning hours, he wakes suddenly from deep sleep, startled by something unclear. Shortly afterward, he hears what he believes are two distinct wood knocks coming from a nearby ridge, closely resembling the pattern he produced earlier. The sounds are brief and unverified, but unsettling enough to keep him alert. At first light, the most unexpected detail emerges. Both food items, the apple and the hot dog, are gone from their clearly visible locations. While small animals are the most reasonable explanation, their complete and silent disappearance overnight creates real unease. He admits that noticing the missing food in daylight was more disturbing than anything he experienced during the night. Though he tries to downplay it, the uncertainty lingers. There are no tracks, no additional sounds, only the absence of what was once there. No conclusive evidence is captured, yet the sequence of events, the knocks, interrupted sleep, and missing offerings, closely mirrors descriptions commonly found in Bigfoot reports. At the same time, ordinary wildlife remains a perfectly plausible explanation. It's that unresolved space between logic and legend that gives the encounter its tension. were the sounds and missing food signs of something observing from the edge of the forest, or simply coincidence shaped by expectation and hunger? Share your thoughts in the comments. On July 14th, 2025, Exploring with Bear releases a new overnight camping video set in an area ominously nicknamed Psychopath Bigfoot Forest. For this trip, he's accompanied by his wife, Tiffany, who reluctantly agreed to return after a disturbing experience during their previous visit. As darkness settles and they retreat into their tent, the atmosphere starts off relaxed, marked by casual conversation. That tone quickly shifts.
Welcome back to another adventure, fam. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jared Bear. For tonight's adventure, my beautiful white... Take two. Wolf? Was that a wolf? Welcome back to another adventure, fam. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jared Bear. Tonight, me and my beautiful wife, Tiffany, have come back to Psychopath Forest, Bigfoot territory. I can't believe she agreed to come out. Why did you agree to come out with me again?
I didn't.
Well, holy smokes, that's a frickin' growl, man. Right outside the tent. That was a frickin' growl. That sounded so mean. You can hear it moving.
When a deep, low growl resonates just beyond the tent walls, uncomfortably close and unlike typical wildlife sounds. Nearby branches snap, followed by heavy, purposeful movement circling their campsite. Bear quietly acknowledges that whatever is outside sounds large and intentional.
So I am going to go out a couple times throughout the night and get some different shots of the forest, and I'll put those up throughout me and her. We're just going to stay in the tent then and find out, if anything happens. Last time our tent got hit.
What if it's just like a homeless person living out here,
I thought of that.
A lot of homeless people have... Never mind. What the freak?
Something just tapped on the tent. I don't know, but that was definitely a tap on the tent. I hope that came up on camera. This is what's spooky too. So we can at least see this side because we've got some fire going still. But this way, we got that side open, but we can't see like what's on that side.
You have all these
And they can see right in at us. Yeah, they can see right in on us.
They stay inside the tent, weighing possible explanations. Could it be an animal? Another person? Or something harder to identify? Bear recalls that during their earlier trip, something had made physical contact with the tent. This night feels even more intense.
Let's hear.
What? Bigfoot, my boy?
Bigfoot, my boy.
Jerry, I feel like the light is blinding me. I can't see a thing.
Nope, you are correct. That's how it feels to have a light at night, yeah. You can't see anything
Can't see anything.
around you. Yep.
Okay, so, and that's another scary thing. If something were to happen and we were attacked, I would have no sight, no vision.
But I'm out here, so you should feel good.
Is it? Well...
You'll hear me get attacked before anything.
Huh.
Yeah.
Whoop!
Whooping.
I just thought that's like the girl version. What if he's like, wants to mate?
People's commented that before. Like, what if it's like a mating call? And you're like inviting them for a good time. Whoop! No, we don't want that. We do not want that. We just want to hear that come back to us.
Soon after, a clear tapping noise presses against the tent fabric, causing both of them to go silent. The campfire outside casts light on only one side of the tent, leaving the opposite side completely dark and exposed to the forest. They debate whether keeping the flashlight on is a mistake, realizing the light could make them easier to spot. Distant snapping sounds continue. At one point, Tiffany makes a vocal sound commonly associated with Bigfoot as a joke, but the moment quickly turns uneasy as Bear considers whether such a call could trigger a response.
Holy smokes, that's a frickin' growl, man. Right outside the tent. That was a frickin' growl. That sounded so mean. You can hear it moving. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I'm glad Tiff didn't hear that, man. I just about grabbed my pants. For sure she would have grabbed her pants. Something just scraped across the tent. What in the world is that? Listen. What was that?
Later in the night, Bear notices a faint light flickering deeper in the woods. He questions whether someone, or something, is present beyond the tree line. The sounds intensify, with more branches breaking nearby. Another growl follows, closer and more aggressive than before, and Bear admits it rattled him. He continues recording quietly, attempting to remain composed. As the hours pass, the tent remains surrounded by movement. Snapping sounds, pacing footsteps, and a persistent sense of being watched. At one point, something scrapes along the outside of the tent. Bear urges viewers to watch closely for any reflections or shapes in the darkness. Despite the urge to investigate, he chooses not to leave the tent, recognizing the risk. The video concludes with Bear thanking viewers and inviting them to like and subscribe if they enjoyed the experience, hinting at more unsettling trips ahead. In the comments, viewers offer mixed theories. Some suggest the growls came from a territorial animal, such as a bear or mountain lion. Others believe the coordinated movement points to something more deliberate, possibly a cryptid like Bigfoot, or even a person attempting to frighten them. The unexplained light deepens the mystery. Was this simply a wildlife encounter, or something more calculated? And if something was watching them that closely, why didn't it act? Or was it waiting? On November 10th, 2014, Barbara Shupe returned to a forest gifting location following several days of heavy rainfall. Known for recording subtle indicators and unexplained noises, Barb and her dog, Gabby, begin to notice minor changes suggesting the area had not been unoccupied.
One of the first things that I'm seeing here is the bucket is a little off. I had left the peanut butter and a package of salmon in the bucket. It's actually pushed up several inches up the rope. Get up there a little closer. The handle is down and the rope is over here on the side, right there. And if something had come down the rope to push that plastic piece up, it would have had to get into the bucket and push it up. Well, the bucket couldn't support the weight of anything in there. There's another way that piece of plastic could have come down over the knot. It could have been pulled by something down here reaching up and just pulling on it. Could have also pulled it over the knot. Another thing, lid and bottom tray have been moved over here. I had left them together. They're not together anymore. A good sized dent in this one now, and there's actually a hole there, like a bite mark right there. And this edge is cracked right here. We've also got the gourd sitting right here next to them. And at this end, we've got what looks like chew marks. Unfortunately, you can't really see through the dirt very well. Let's see, over here. We had put these sticks here up on the side with this piece of bark to try and, this has been all pulled apart here. The jar that we left Raisin Bran in is empty. We got the jar of jam, no new chew marks. We've got the granola and the bacon, also no new chew marks. I have checked the camera. There are no new pictures in it.
At the supply spot, Barb examines the items that were left. The containers are still present, yet lids have been moved and food accessed without signs of damage. The interaction appears deliberate rather than careless, prompting questions about what had handled them.
So you can see it's been chewed on, but it's soft enough and decomposing enough that you can't really say was it bit it or chewed on it. Something I didn't even see on the way down, right here, just kind of clinging to the edge there, is one of our jar rings. All this dirt and moss and everything has been push down right here. I'm not seeing a jar anywhere, just the ring. Look at this. Interesting little structure right here. Perfect little X leaning against that tree.
Near the stream, Barb discovers a jar ring placed on a branch and signs of recent ground disturbance. Nearby, a small X-shaped tree formation is visible. These quiet indicators feel intentionally arranged instead of accidental. Barb restores the supplies and adds new items, treating the location as an active space rather than one that had been abandoned. As she moves farther into the forest, distant whooping noises carry through the trees. Barb becomes silent. Gabby grows alert. The forest feels attentive. Within Bigfoot research, X-shaped tree formations are commonly interpreted as purposeful markers rather than random fallen branches. Their balance and positioning imply communication, used to signal territory, direction, or presence, particularly in areas with limited human activity. If the X shape was meant to be noticed, was it only a marker or evidence that something knew exactly where to place it? On September 8, 2025, in a remote forested region of Ohio, Jared from Exploring with Bear returns alone to a location he openly identifies as Bigfoot territory. His channel focuses on real-world camping, exploration, and encounters in isolated wilderness settings. This visit is different. There is no partner present, only past experiences, lingering unease, and a landscape already shaped by something unseen. From the moment he enters, the forest feels attentive rather than empty.
See what kind of prints we got around here. Check those out, dog prints, or wolf or coyote. They're big though. Look at that one, man, that's huge. That's a pretty big paw. Okay, so I don't see any besides big dog or wolf or something, or dog man tracks maybe. I don't know, I wonder how's that work for dog man. Maybe he's got like hands with claws, or not, I don't know. Or is it just paws? What's Dogman's feet look like?
Earlier that day, Jared examines a dried lake bed near the trail. In the soft mud, he records unusually large canine tracks, significantly larger than those left by common dogs or wolves. Whatever created them moved through the area with confidence.
Someone's just walking over there. What is it? Where's that coming from? There's a bang, but it sounded like something walking so close. That was a rock clink. Person or a Bigfoot just smacked something right over there. Oh, something's moving right there. What is moving around me? Hello? No freaking way, man. It sounds like I'm being surrounded. I was just surrounded. There's a crack back there again.
As night falls around the campfire, the atmosphere shifts. Footsteps and breaking branches begin to sound from more than one direction. The movement does not advance directly. It circles. The sensation is not of a single observer, but of being surrounded, with activity occurring just beyond the reach of the firelight.
Holy smokes, man. Oh, I see eyes. There's eyes. Where'd they go? We got eye shine. Where'd those eyes go? I think they come up on camera for a second. Oh, wait. Oh, was that more back there? Oh, there's more eyes. Back in a different location. Different set of eyes. I've seen a bunch of eyes out there now. In different spots.
While scanning the tree line, the camera briefly captures flashes of eye shine at varying heights within the brush. They appear, disappear, and then show again elsewhere, too controlled to seem accidental. The fire continues to burn. The woods fall quiet. Sleep becomes impossible.
You hear that? Oh my goodness. I just seen a flashlight out in the woods. Somebody's down there with a flashlight right now. That had to be a flashlight. I don't know what else it could have been. Oh, that was my whistle. That was my whistle. That was my whistle. There's just some kind of growl too or something out there. That was my whistle. No. I don't know what to do.
The sounds outside remain erratic, creating the sense that something nearby is making its presence known. Then, from deeper within the trees, a new sound emerges. The whistle previously left outside the tent is heard again, as if being tested deliberately. Cicada noise swells, giving the impression that the forest itself is closing in with a single unspoken message. The combination of tree structures, coordinated movement, eye shine, and sound imitation points toward intelligence, whether from wildlife, unknown entities, or human activity remains uncertain. If something remained nearby throughout the night, mimicking sounds and staying just beyond sight, was it signaling a warning or determining how close it could get? On October 26, 2019, Kevin from the YouTube channel Homesteading Off the Grid leaves his cabin and heads into the forest behind his property. Known for documenting off-grid living and self-sufficiency, Kevin does not usually pursue unexplained phenomena. But after spending a year leaving walnuts that repeatedly vanish, he decides to trace where they are going, into a section of woods that begins to feel increasingly hostile.
Okay, so people are always making comments about these X structures they're seeing in the videos. I'm starting to see these things more frequently. There's one back here too. I'm gonna go beyond them because that's where my gut, I need to drink some water. I just got like a dizzy spell. I'm okay. It's been walking all morning. It's another X. Happened again. Guys, this is like a really weird feeling area right here. It's like bends and X's very heavily right here. There's another bent tree up there. We're taking the path less traveled. We are going right through these structures. Look at that. Oh God, I just got that dizzy spell again, just light though, just briefly.
As X-shaped tree formations appear more often, Kevin experiences sudden dizziness, twice. The sensation occurs only near these structures, making the area feel unnatural and strangely controlled, as though something unseen is influencing his body to slow or weaken him.
Remember, full 360 security today. Okay guys, I've actually got the trail cam and the GoPro facing the 2 and the 4, and I'm looking at the 12. I've always given you guys the respect of getting my 6. I'm gonna let you do it again today.
To safeguard himself, Kevin sets up 2 cameras nearby. Minutes later, while sitting only a few meters away, he realizes both cameras are missing.
Okay guys, things have officially gotten creepy. My cameras are gone. And I was right here. I had that aimed in the scene where I recorded myself tying up the trail cam to this tree, and there is no trail cam there now. And I was just sitting on that rock. How did my cameras, while I'm there, vanish? Okay guys, I went back and watched the segment I recorded earlier where I showed myself tying up the trail cam from this angle. This tree was in the scene and I went straight back to this tree. There is no trail cam on this tree. There's no trail cam on the ground.
There is no sound and no recorded movement. The disappearance feels intentional, less like simple theft and more like a silent warning.
I'm packing up and we're heading out. I'm not even gonna look for the GoPro. Creepiness continues. You see my flashlight? It's on. I didn't turn it on. When I opened my backpack, this flashlight was on. And this flashlight is a very special type of flashlight. To get this light to come on, you have to hold the button down and go through a series of other features it offers and then release the button when the light comes on. So, I don't know how. There's an interesting overhang. And I can hear that heavy equipment back there. What is this? Well, 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 look what we have here. There's my walnuts. There's dearly seashells. And here is one of my hatchets that I didn't even know was missing. It's my kid's Frisbee. Now, I'm sure that was in the yard. We try to pick up after ourselves, but my kid's always leaving balls and Frisbees and whatever we've been playing with out there. That was close. That was like right here.
Not long after, Kevin notices his flashlight is switched on inside his backpack without explanation, suggesting something approached him without being detected. Before leaving the area, he finds a concealed pile of walnuts, tools, and personal belongings, his belongings, collected together like a private stash. Almost immediately afterward, a loud noise breaks out nearby. Kevin flees the area. Some viewers suggest the dizziness could be linked to infrasound, which has been reported in close Bigfoot encounters. Others interpret the missing cameras and collected items as evidence of territorial intelligence, something capable of delivering warnings without revealing itself. If the forest did not want Kevin there, why reveal everything, only to force him to leave? That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.